Right, so let's get a Serum up, and we're gonna start heading towards this sort of like loudness sort of, and then working backwards. So I'm gonna grab a preset I've made, I think it was in here, and we can go through it quickly. So there's a sub here, a sine wave. Let me draw a note on. And just remember, this can be applied to any music. It's not just drum and bass. It could be live music as well. Hold on. I turned it right down, probably. Or I've got solo on or something. I'll figure it out. So let's go with F. I like writing in F sometimes. And this is the new version. I don't know where legato's gone. There it is. Right. And let me put a loop on this and solo it. And we're going to look at the design of sub bass, which helps in everything. You know, it doesn't matter what music. And we're going to look at harmonics as well. So we've got a sine wave here. You all know what a sine wave looks like. Looks like that. But you can, the way I've designed it, you can draw in additional harmonics here. These are your harmonics up here. And you can, the reason you bring in additional harmonics is when you've got just a pure sine and it plays through these speakers, you'll be able to hear it like this. A low one like this, maybe even lower. And let me bring this down. Sorry, this is a pure sine. Something rattling.
My teeth.
Yeah. However, if we put it on the NS10s, what do you think is going to happen? You're not going to hear it, are you? Because they've got no low frequency content. That's not what they're designed for. Well, they weren't designed for anything, I don't think. They just ended up in studios. But
white cones.
yeah, they look good. But yeah, you wouldn't hear the sine. So how do you think we could make it so you could hear the sine? Add harmonics, exactly. So if we get a frequency analyzer up, hopefully this will show. Actually, I'll just add one. I'll put that on here. Can you see that? So I'm looking. Yeah. So that's just your single harmonic. You know, I'm sure your tutors will be able to explain this a lot better than me about harmonics and stuff like that. As I'm just a producer or a DJ. So if I add in some harmonics, you start to see. If I move this out of the way, these other harmonics appear in here. Wrong one. So now they're gone. Now they're being introduced. So that means it'll translate. So it's still keeping the super lows, but it's also adding this sort of additional note almost. So it'll translate onto the NS10s. So you'll be able to hear bass in it. It'll translate onto your MacBook or your mobile phone. You'll be able to hear bass in it. And if you're making things like trap and drill, the most important thing of it is understanding the harmonics. If you get that right, your music's going to sound amazing. You can add harmonics with saturation. It's really what distortion and preamps and quite a lot of this gear in here is really good for. You know, I see this thing here. I've never used one, but this has got like harmonics here and so on. So this is like to process sort of low frequencies in the analog world, and add additional harmonics and stuff like that. Some compressors like the LA2A clones here, they've got tubes in it, and the more you drive them, the more saturation you get, which introduces harmonics. And on things like vocals and stuff, they can make it sound very pleasing. And you've got other things here, you know, like these preamps here. I didn't know what they were earlier, but some preamps here. These EQs, they've got tubes in it, and they introduce harmonics as well. So it doesn't only just work on sub. But yeah, you're following me about harmonics, yeah? You can add more as well, so it goes higher up the register. So if we just put this in like this, just add a bit of harmonics. You can see this one here, if you can see my mouse. Yeah. So it's going to cut through the speakers. Maybe it's a bit much, maybe about there. And now if I put this in with the drums, and I'm going to put it all the way across, it's going to be distorting a bit. And then we're going to fix that with a couple of things, which one's going to be side chaining, and then we're going to look at the master bus as well. Then we're going to add another sound, and then we're going to start referencing other people's music and see how ours stands up.